Valentine's Day may have gone, but this week features an event you should all love. So stick around, and I'm going to give you this week's event details, and then explain how to get the most lucky Pokemon possible. Starting off on Monday the 16th, we will have Dynamax Machop. This isn't a new Dynamax, but Machamp will always be a great start to your fighting types. And don't forget, if you're taking part in this hour, to check into Campfire, so you can collect your free 800 particles after completing 2 Dynamax battles and Power 10. On Tuesday the 17th, we're going to have Horsey Spotlight Hour. Again, this isn't a new Spotlight for long-time players, but for newer players, it's a good chance to work towards completing your Kanto decks. Additionally, the bonus will be 2 times transfer candy, so you're going to want to make sure you start preparing your rarer transfers for a little extra candy, so potentially extra traded legendaries that weren't very good, or other rare Pokemon like that. Some evolved Pokemon like the 12 candy ones isn't a good example. Anything like that you think you want to bin, just save it until then. You're going to be able to make a lot of storage. For Wednesday, Solgaleo will appear in Raid Hour on February the 18th. The hundo for it will be 2310 or 2887 in windy or snowy weather. Now this is the second time it's been in legendary raids, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And the best counters will be Mega Charizard Y and Mega Blaziken. As for events this week, there's going to be some in person. Go Tour Tainan and Go Tour Los Angeles are kicking off. I may do a video on that, we'll see. Alongside the new debut of Mega Knights, it looks like it's going to be a fun event. Now rolling back to Tuesday, between Tuesday the 17th of February and Sunday the 21st of February, hold on to your good luck charms tight, because we have 6 days for by far the best event this week, the Lunar New Year. So what bonuses does this event have? It has an increased chance to get lucky Pokemon in trades. This is by far the best part of the event. An increased chance to become lucky friends. Again, a fantastic part of the event. Pokestops may turn gold without a golden lure module, so this gives you a chance to get Gimmighoul. And there's going to be an increased chance to encounter shiny Blitzle, shiny Darumaka, and shiny Gimmighoul. In terms of spawns for the event, there's going to be Ponyta in both of its forms, Fuecoco, and then as rarer spawns, Blitzle and Darumaka. All of these will be able to be shiny. There will also be field research tasks available, but the details have not currently been released of what they are. There will also be a collection challenge, as we get in many events these days. Additionally, there will be a paid timed research. That's going to be for the equivalent of $1.99 in dollars. You'll be able to receive 200 PokéCoins, 2 Lucky Eggs, 1 Incense, and encounters with Blitzle and Darumaka, if those are ones that you want. Now, as usual, there will be an increased chance to encounter shinies during this event, and those shinies will be Blitzle, Darumaka, and Gimmighoul. So now moving on to the main reason to watch this video, and that's to figure out how good is the boost to Lucky Trade. Now, according to previous research by Silph, the boost during the Lunar event will give double the chance of a lucky, or slightly below that. So in their previous research, they found a normal 5% chance of a trade being lucky between things that you've just caught. That would become a 9.5 to 10% chance. However, in reality, the lucky chance in trades also has a multiplier that comes into play before this lunar boost, and that's the age of the Pokemon. Now, the odds of a lucky trade between 2 Pokemon caught in the current year you're in, so in this case 2026, is 5%, or 1 in 20. Now, if one person gives a 2025 Pokemon, so the oldest Pokemon is 1 year old, then the odds will be 10%, or 1 in 10. If one person gives a 2024 Pokemon, you increase that again by 5%, so that would give you a 15% chance of going lucky. 3 years old would give you a 20% chance. I believe the furthest the increase goes is 25% chance at 4 years old. So for now, you would need a Pokemon from 2022 traded by one of the trainers. I believe the other one is irrelevant at that point. However, the important thing is the lunar multiplier scales on top of this. So the previous research by Silph indicated that for the same year, it increases it to 10%. For 1 year old, it increases it to nearly 20%. 2 years old increases it to nearly 30%. 3 years old increases it to nearly 40%. So in short, the older the trade Pokemon that one of you uses during the event, the better your odds of a lucky. And this is going to be incredibly powerful for rare Pokemon, considering a lucky trade is a 1 in 64 chance of a hundo. That much we do know. Now, bear in mind that officially released the odds of how this works, but the community has worked this out from millions of trades. So unless they've changed these odds recently, this is give or take what the odds will be. You may not get those exact odds when you trade yourself, because probability always comes into it, but these are the established facts that we know. So what would I actually use this on? I would think of Pokemon that are either rare or difficult to acquire. So I'm talking unknown from GoFest or regional events, regional Pokemon you've been able to get a bunch of, so potentially ones that you've had a particular event for. We had in 2025 Chatot in an event on Lures. There's been in GoFest's Torkoal and other ones. If you'd hatched a bunch of those, you may want to do that. Or just generally regionals you've been able to get a bunch of. Now, there's also potentially Smeargle and Kecleon, as you can't find these. If someone else gets one, they're kind of tailored to yourself based on what you get off, a stop or from your daily snapshot. They're kind of locked to you, so that could be an option if you need those. Something like Lucario, baby Pokemon. That's a big one for myself because I don't hatch a whole lot of eggs. Costumes. You could have some old costumes that no one's ever asked to trade. They're just filling up your storage. Why not try them out? Now, in terms of your specials, I would say legendaries or shinies with age gaps as your specials, so maybe 2022 shinies, that kind of thing. Basically anything you can't find in an ordinary event to then trade grind your way to a hundo eventually, that's the kind of thing you're going to want to trade. Now, I save my rare stuff year-round to exploit this boost, the 1 or 2 times a year that we do get it. So, long-term, I would recommend you do the same if you have the chance. If you don't have enough storage to keep stuff spare, that's fair enough. But long-term, it's huge for efficiency if you're working on a hundo decks. I've used it to get several regionals to this point. For players new to this kind of event, I hope my explanation has helped you out. Remember, guys, you can use this as a chance to help clear more storage in the lead up to the Kalos tour. And if this has helped, feel free to like and subscribe so YouTube shows you more videos like this one. And click either of the videos here to watch more of my content. Also, feel free to tell me any hundos you get during the increased trades. I'm actually really interested to hear what people get. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video on the lead up to the Kalos tour. Peace.